the Chase Thomas Podcast, for people who have nothing but time to kill.
Positions they have to hit the hardest.
I mean, I think you got to continue to hit interior defensive line. I think secondary is important. I think wide receiver is important. Obviously, they've already got two, committed, with Evans and King. You like where you're at with the tight end spot. You love Carson Snead. You already have your quarterback. Running back is important. I think Tennessee would love to hit Savion Hiter. That's the one that, to me, that's the white whale out there is Savion Hiter. Tennessee can try to be a player for Latimer. I think they're in it for the Walton kid pretty deep. Latimer just feels like he's headed to the Big Ten. But Savion Hiter is the one that I think, Darrell Sims, if you tied him down and said, which one do you really want? You have to tell me. I think he would say Savion Hiter is my guy.
The Hiter thing is interesting to me, Austin. I wonder if it's the same to you, where I think we haven't seen Tennessee invest at running back in a way that I would assume, have to invest in Hiter. And that's just such with how they operate in terms. Last year, it just felt like an anomaly with Dylan Sampson having to be the bell cow back, because we haven't seen that in the previous 3 years. And it feels like the rotation is more of what Tennessee would like to do.
Yep.
Does it make sense to go all in on a Savion Hiter back? And it kind of when you think about just not salary cap, but just roster allocation, it is kind of, that one has just raised an eyebrow for me, where I am kind of surprised, because Tennessee has just done so well at rotating so many guys there. That do you go big on Hiter, and does that make the most amount of sense?
Well, I think they certainly are going to go big.
Yeah.
And if they miss there, then they'll pivot and go in another direction. But I think they're certainly going to go there. Listen, I think you evaluate each class different. You evaluate each kid different. If you feel like this is a true game changer at tailback, and it's hard to think, it's not like Dylan Sampson came in with all this star power behind him. He just was a really good football player, and he broke records that were 100-year-old records. So that's why I never get super caught up in the whole rankings thing. Don't get me wrong, you need good players. You can't just roll with a bunch of 3 stars and everything's gonna be okay. That's not real either. But I don't judge every kid that's a 3-star going, he's a 3-star. But I think every kid's built different. And look at James Pierce was a 3-star until he wasn't, and then he ended up as a 5, by on 3. So and if he gets drafted in the first round this year, then that 5th star was warranted by Charles Power. So we'll kind of see where it goes. But I think with Savion, man, if you like him that much, you go after him.
I've been curious. You mentioned the North Carolina thing, Austin, and what I've been, I guess, there's still a lot of time here before we really see.
Nicely done, nephew. The Chase Thomas Podcast. Hell yeah.